My child, stop what you're doing, silence the noise, still your heart, and listen. I'm calling you by name. This is not a moment for distraction. It is a moment for awakening. What I am about to speak is not a whisper among many voices. It is life calling to you. Hear me, my child. I'm pleading with you. Listen closely. For there are words your weary soul has longed to hear, truths buried beneath your noise and pain. I am reaching for you now, urgently, tenderly, because your heart cannot afford to drift another moment. My child, can you hear me now? Beneath the noise, beneath the endless rush of thoughts and worries, my voice is still calling your name. You've grown so used to the clamor of this world, the constant striving, the expectations, the opinions, that my whisper often fades into the background. Yet I have never stopped speaking. Even now, in the quiet ache that lingers after the day is done, I am speaking to you. I do not shout over the chaos. I wait within it, calling you to listen, not with your ears, but with your spirit. For I speak in ways that the noise cannot understand, through the stillness, through conviction, through peace that surpasses understanding. You have mistaken my silence for absence, but it is not so. When you could not hear me, I was teaching you how to listen again. For my voice is not found in the thunder, nor in the earthquake, nor in the fire, but in the gentle whisper that comes after. You long for me to move in dramatic ways, to prove my presence with signs and wonders, yet I am already moving in the unseen, in the small mercies, in the breath you just took, in the tears you didn't think I noticed. Every sigh of your soul is heard by me. Every thought you keep hidden, I understand. And still, I am whispering, come closer. You have filled your days with noise of comparison, of anxiety, of endless doing, and it has dulled your spirit. The world tells you to run faster, achieve more, never rest. But I, your God, am not found in the rush. I dwell in the stillness that your heart has forgotten how to enter. That is why I am pleading with you now. Slow down. Turn away from the screens, the striving, the spinning thoughts. Let the world spin without you for a moment. Step away from the noise and come into the quiet place where I wait. It is not absence you will find there. It is me. I want to teach you the sacred rhythm of rest, not just the rest of the body, but the rest of your soul. When you finally quiet the outer noise, you will begin to recognize the inner voice that has always been mine. It is the voice that calls you by name, not by your failures, not by your achievements, but by your identity in me. You are mine. You have always been mine. You don't need to strive to earn my nearness. You need only to listen. For my whisper carries your purpose, your healing, your peace. It is the compass for your wandering heart. So hush the noise, my beloved. For in the silence that follows, I will speak, and when I do, your soul will remember how to breathe again. My child, I see the heaviness you've tried so hard to hide. You smile when you must. You speak when you're expected to, but inside, your soul is tired. You've been carrying the weight of expectations, guilt, fear, and disappointment for so long that you've begun to believe it's normal. But hear me now, that burden was never meant to rest on your shoulders. You were never created to hold the world together. That is my place, not yours. Every worry that keeps you awake, every secret sorrow that tightens your chest, I have seen them all. I have watched you fight battles that were not yours to fight, and I have waited for the moment you would let me carry them for you. I am not distant from your pain. I have walked with you through every valley, even when you could not see me. I was there, holding the weight you thought you bore alone. You try to be strong for everyone, to keep your world from falling apart. But, my beloved, strength without surrender becomes a chain. You were never meant to be the savior of your own story. You were meant to rest in the arms of the one who already won the battle. I am that one. When I carried the cross, I carried your sorrow, your shame, your striving. Every burden you feel right now was nailed there with me. So why do you still carry what I have already lifted? Why do you still hold what I have already healed? The weight you bear is not proof of your faithfulness. It is the proof of your forgetting. Remember me. Remember that I am the strength beneath your weakness, the peace within your storm. I am pleading with you. Lay it down. Not because you are weak, but because you were never meant to walk this path alone. Your shoulders were made to lift praise, not pressure. The heaviness you feel is not your identity. It is the echo of a soul that has forgotten its resting place. Let me exchange your burden for my peace. Let me show you that surrender is not defeat. It is the doorway to freedom. You will not lose control when you release it to me. You will finally find it. For when you give me what weighs you down, I give you what lifts you up. Joy that cannot be stolen, strength that cannot be shaken, and peace that no circumstance can undo. My child, you've often whispered, "Where are you?" And I've heard it every time. You thought I was silent because I did not answer in the way you expected, but I was speaking in ways your heart did not yet understand. You've looked for me in the thunder and lightning, but I am in the still air between them. You searched the skies for signs of my presence, yet I have been nearer than your breath. There is no distance between us, only the illusion of it, a shadow cast by fear, guilt, and misunderstanding. I have never moved away from you, not for a moment. Even in your rebellion, even in your questions, even in your silence, I stayed. You wandered, but I followed. You hid, but I saw you. You fell, but I caught you before the ground can break you. You measure my closeness by your emotions, but I am not bound by your feelings. My nearness is constant, unchanging, unwavering, unstoppable. When your heart feels cold, it does not mean I have left you. It means I am teaching you to walk by faith, not by feeling. The illusion of distance fades when you stop chasing me with your mind and begin to rest in me with your spirit. You keep asking me to come closer, but I cannot come closer than I already am. I live within you and I breathe through you. The very longing you feel for me is the proof that I am already there. I know it feels like silence sometimes, but silence is not absence. It's the space where I am preparing your heart to hear more deeply. If I always spoke loudly, you would never learn to listen with reverence. If I always appeared visibly, you would never learn to trust my unseen hand. So yes, there are times when I seem far away, but even then, I am holding the fabric of your life together with invisible threads of grace. Look not for me in the noise of panic, but in the quiet assurance that refuses to let you give up. That is where I dwell, not in chaos, but in peace. So rest your heart, my child. Stop running toward me as though I am distant, and instead, awaken to the truth that I am here, in this very breath, in this very moment. There is no space between your heart and mine. You are not chasing me, you are carried by me. The illusion is fading even now. My child, it is time to come home. Not to a place, not to a routine, but to me. You have wandered in circles, searching for peace in things that cannot satisfy, and every road without me ends in weariness. You've tried to fill your emptiness with approval, with success, with comfort that fades before morning. But none of these can heal the ache in your soul. You were made for communion with me, and without that connection, even abundance feels hollow. Listen to the tug within your spirit. that quiet ache that refuses to be silenced. That is my call. It is not condemnation. It is invitation. I am not calling you back to rules or religion, but to relationship, the one your heart was created for before the world ever broke it. You may think you have wandered too far, but no distance is too great for my grace. The path home does not begin with perfection. It begins with surrender. Come to me as you are weary, flawed, uncertain, and I will meet you there. You have not disappointed me by falling. You only delay your healing by staying away. The moment your heart turns toward me, I run to you. Do you understand that? I do not wait at the gate, arms crossed in judgment. I run, just as I did for the prodigal, because love does not hesitate when it sees its child returning. Do not believe the lie that you must fix yourself first. You cannot cleanse what only my mercy can wash. You cannot heal what only my hands can restore. Let me into the broken places, not just the parts you show the world, but the ones even you try to hide from yourself. I know them already, and still, I love you. I am not ashamed of your story. I am the redeemer of it. And if you will let me, I will take every chapter the enemy meant for pain and rewrite it into a testimony of grace. So, my beloved, return to me. Return to the quiet where your soul first knew my voice. Return to the peace that the world cannot imitate. Return to the love that will not let you go. You may have forgotten how to rest in me, but I have not forgotten how to restore you. The way home is simple. Stop running. Stop striving. Just turn, and I will meet you there. Arms open, heart full, whispering, "Welcome home." My child, I see the war that rages inside you, the quiet battle no one else notices. On the outside, you appear composed, but within you, faith and fear wrestle for control. There are moments when you believe, and moments when doubt whispers louder than truth. You tell yourself to be strong, yet something inside trembles. Do you think I do not understand this struggle? I do, for I have walked among you, felt the weight of temptation, and stood face to face with darkness. I know the battlefield of the human soul, and I am not ashamed of you for fighting. You think the battle means you are losing, but no, it means you are still choosing me, even when it hurts. Every time you rise again after falling, every time you whisper, "I still trust you," through tears, that is victory. You often try to fight this war with your own strength, but strength without surrender only exhausts you. You arm yourself with control, reasoning, and pride, yet those weapons fail against spiritual storms. The real victory comes not from resisting in fear, but from yielding in faith. The war within you was never meant to be fought alone. I am your defender, your shield, your unseen strength. You need only to invite me into the battle. Stop fighting me for control. Let me fight for you. When you let me take command, peace will begin to disarm your fear. I am not angry at your weakness, for it is in your weakness that my power is revealed. Do not despise the tension between who you are and who you are becoming. Growth is often disguised as warfare. The pressure you feel is my refining, stripping away what cannot remain so that what is eternal may stand. Every battle you face is shaping you into someone who trusts more deeply, loves more purely, and stands more firmly in truth. So, do not run from the struggle. Bring it to me. Let me remind you that you are not broken beyond repair, nor are you faithless because you waver. You are human, and you are mine. The war within you does not define you. My love does. And my love is winning, even now, in the quiet corners of your heart. My child, how long will you let your past hold you hostage? You keep revisiting old wounds, replaying the same failures, and believing the same lies that tell you you're unworthy of peace. You've built walls around your heart, not to keep me out, but because you're afraid to feel again. You wear your mistakes like armor, thinking they protect you from further pain, yet they only keep you from healing. I see the memories that haunt you when the world grows silent, the ones you've tried to bury but still bleed beneath the surface. You whisper, "I should have known better. I should have done more." But my child, I have already covered those words with grace. What you call disgrace, I call redeemed ground. Your past does not disqualify you. It's the very soil where I plant new beginnings. You see ashes, I see the makings of beauty. You see failure, I see testimony. Do not believe the voice that says you must carry shame forever. I have already carried it for you. When I spoke, "It is finished," that included every regret, every sin, every moment you wish you could undo. Stop reopening what I have already healed. I know the scars you bear, but I do not see them as stains. I see them as reminders of how deeply I've loved you, enough to rescue, to restore, to rewrite. Let me cut the chains that keep you bound to what no longer exists. You cannot walk into the fullness of your destiny while dragging the weight of yesterday. The past was never meant to be your prison. It was meant to be your teacher. And now that it has taught you, it is time to move forward. Lift your eyes from what was and see what is being made new. I am not finished with your story, not even close. So, release your past into my hands, and watch as I turn your sorrow into strength. The chains will fall when you finally believe this truth. You are not what you've done. You are who I say you are. My child, do you remember when your heart could still feel? When tears came easily, when hope stirred with every sunrise, when love felt alive within you? Somewhere along the way, pain taught you to protect yourself by closing off, and so, you stopped feeling altogether. You've mistaken numbness for peace, but numbness is not peace. It is quiet despair. It's the absence of joy disguised as calm. I know why you built those walls. The world wounded you, people disappointed you, and your own choices left scars. You told yourself, "If I stop feeling, I won't hurt anymore." But by closing your heart to pain, you also closed it to me. I do not condemn you for this. I understand. I know what it means to feel the sting of betrayal, the silence of loneliness, the ache of rejection. But I did not harden my heart. I opened it wider. That is the path to healing. You cannot numb the pain without numbing the presence. I want to awaken you again, not to hurt you, but to heal you fully. The heart that feels deeply is the heart that truly lives. Let the tears fall again. They are not a sign of weakness, but of renewal. Let the laughter return, the wonder return, the tenderness you once buried. I am restoring what the world tried to steal. I am calling you to feel again, to risk loving, to risk trusting, to risk being known. Yes, it will make you vulnerable, but it will also make you free. You were not created to survive in emotional silence. You were created to live abundantly. So let me touch the places you've numbed, the memories you avoid, the grief you suppress, the hope you've buried. I will not break you. I will bring you back to life. The numbness will fade as my presence floods your heart once more. My child, you do not have to live half alive. Open your heart, even if it trembles. For when you feel again, you will know, I never stopped holding you. My child, do you know how softly deception speaks? It never shouts its presence. It creeps in gently, disguised as reason, comfort, or desire. The voice of the tempter rarely tells you to do something evil. It simply tells you to compromise, just a little. It whispers, you deserve this, when I've called you to wait. It murmurs, no one will know, when I've asked you to walk in light. It sounds persuasive because it speaks in the rhythm of your fears and wants. And when your heart grows weary, that whisper begins to sound like truth. Yet I tell you, any voice that promises peace without my presence is a lie. The enemy does not have to destroy you to derail you. He only needs to distract you. He knows how to make noise sound like purpose, how to make comfort look like peace, and how to make delay feel like despair. But I am the still, steady voice that never manipulates, never condemns, never forces. My voice draws but never deceives. You know my voice when it leads you toward light, humility, and peace. You know his voice when it fuels pride, urgency, and shame. The enemy's greatest weapon is not the lie itself. It's convincing you that I am silent when he speaks. But my child, I have never stopped speaking truth into your spirit. You simply must quiet the counterfeit voices long enough to remember mine. The tempter knows your wounds and uses them against you. I know your wounds and heal them. He tells you you're too far gone. I remind you I went further to find you. He speaks to your fear. I speak to your faith. He shows you shortcuts. I show you the path that lasts. So when the lies begin to sound familiar, when the voices blur, come back to my word, for my word cuts through the confusion. It is your anchor, your sword, your shield. Do not reason with the tempter. Resist him with truth. Do not fight him in your own strength. Stand in mine. For I have already silenced his claim over you. You belong to me. Every time you choose truth over deception, heaven celebrates. Every time you turn from the whisper of temptation to my still voice, you are walking in victory. Stay close to me, and no lie can linger long. My child, obedience is not about rules, it's about trust. When I ask you to follow, I'm not testing your strength. I'm building your faith. You often pray for breakthrough, for miracles, for answers, yet you hesitate when I whisper you this. You want me to reveal the entire path, but I reveal it one step at a time. Because obedience is not about seeing, it's about believing that I am good, even when the road looks uncertain. Every act of obedience opens a door that fear has tried to keep shut. You may think your small yes doesn't matter, but it echoes in eternity. When you obey, you shift things you cannot see, hearts soften, chains break, destinies realign. You have seen what happens when you follow your own understanding. Exhaustion, confusion, emptiness. But when you follow me, even into the unknown, there is peace. Not the peace of perfect circumstances, but the peace of my presence guiding you. Obedience is not a burden. It is the bridge between promise and fulfillment. When I told Abraham to go, I didn't give him a map. I gave him my word. When I told Peter to step out of the boat, I did calm the storm. I called him to walk through it. So when I call you, it may not make sense. It may stretch you, cost you, or even break your comfort, but it will never break you. My commands are not chains, they are keys. Each one unlocks a part of your purpose. When I ask you to forgive, it's not to diminish your pain, but to free your heart. When I ask you to give, it's not to take from you, but to release blessing through you. When I ask you to let go, it's not to leave you empty, but to make room for something greater. I see the end from the beginning, and I know what obedience will produce. Trust me enough to act, even when you don't understand. For your obedience today builds the foundation for the miracle you will see tomorrow. My child, I know the fire feels unbearable. You've asked me why you're walking through so much, why the trials seem endless, why prayers seem delayed. You wonder if I've forgotten you, but I tell you now, this is not punishment. It is refining. Gold is not destroyed in fire. it is purified. And you, my beloved, are being shaped into something radiant. I am not burning you to break you. I am burning away what cannot stay. The pain you feel is not abandonment, it's transformation. You've prayed to be used by me, to shine for me, to know me deeper, and refining is the answer to that prayer. I know the process feels lonely, but I am not absent from the flames. I walk within them with you. When you cry out, I am near. When you feel stripped, I am clothing you in strength. You see loss, I see preparation. I'm teaching you to depend on me completely, to anchor your faith not in outcomes but in my character. Fire does what comfort never can. It reveals the eternal within you. It strips away false securities until all that remains is truth. The storm doesn't destroy your purpose, it exposes it. Trust what I'm doing in the unseen. You may not understand it now, but one day you'll look back and realize the fire made you unshakable. You'll thank me for what I did and let you keep, for what I took that would have destroyed you. I am forming endurance, humility, wisdom, qualities that cannot grow in ease. You are being refined, not rejected. When you come out of this, you will shine brighter, love deeper, and walk freer than before. Hold on, my child. The fire will not consume you. It will reveal my glory in you. My child, surrender is not the end. It is the beginning. You've been taught to see letting go as weakness, as defeat, as loss of control. But I tell you, surrender is where you finally find the freedom your heart has been aching for. You've held on so tightly, to outcomes, to people, to plans that never unfolded the way you hoped. And all the holding has left your hands tired, your heart restless. But when you release it, when you place what you cannot fix into my hands, something miraculous happens. Peace begins to flow where pressure once lived. You begin to see that surrender is not losing. It is trading your limited understanding for my limitless wisdom. I know it scares you to loosen your grip, but haven't you seen that holding on hasn't healed you? You can trust me with what you love, because I love it more than you ever could. You often pray, Lord, have your way, yet part of you still fights to keep control. You want my will but on your terms, my plan but your timeline. But, my beloved, my ways are higher, not to confuse you but to protect you. You cannot see what I see. You look at a single thread and think it's unraveling, but I see the full tapestry, every color, every line, every purpose. Surrender is what allows me to complete the masterpiece. It is not your job to hold everything together. It is your calling to rest in the hands of the one who does. The beauty of surrender is not in what you lose, but in what you gain. You gain rest where striving used to live. You gain peace where control once ruled. You gain clarity that only comes when your heart stops wrestling. So lay it down, the need to know, the fear of what's next, the endless trying to fix what was never yours to fix. Let me be the keeper of what you can't control. When you surrender, you are not stepping backward. You are stepping into the flow of my will. And where my will flows, there is life, abundance, and renewal. You will see it once you let go. My child, I miss you. Not your prayers, not your works, not your words, you. The one who used to talk to me freely, not out of duty but out of love. Somewhere along the way, the world grew loud, and our connection grew faint. You've mistaken performance for intimacy, thinking if you just do more, say more, serve more, you'll feel closer. But I am not after your performance. I am after your heart. I want you, the real you, the one hidden behind the masks you wear for the world. I know the one who still feels lost even while leading others. I know the one who cries quietly at night but smiles in public. It's the one I want to restore. You were made for communion with me, not just conversation about me. I want to walk with you again, not just meet you in your crises. I want to whisper in the quiet moments of your day, not just in the chaos of your pain. You keep asking me for signs, for miracles, for confirmation. Yet I am standing right beside you, waiting for your heart to open again. Intimacy is not about doing more. It's about being with me more. It's about inviting me into your ordinary, into the morning coffee, the drive to work, the quiet moments when you feel unseen. I do not want to be a distant God you visit. I want to be the living presence you dwell with. I want to bring back the closeness you once knew, when my voice was familiar, when my peace filled your silence. You haven't lost me. You've only drifted. But I am right where you left me, still calling, still longing, still waiting. When you return, you won't find judgment, only open arms and gentle love. Let the walls fall. Let your soul breathe again in my presence. Come sit with me. No pretenses, no rehearsed prayers. Just you and me, heart to heart, as it was always meant to be. My child, listen closely. I am doing a new thing within you. You think the story is over, that the best days are behind you, but I say they have just begun. What feels like loss is actually preparation. What feels like emptiness is the clearing of space for something greater. You have walked through wilderness, but even there, I was planting seeds beneath the soil. And now, the time has come for new life to break forth. You will see beauty rise from ashes, not because you forced it, but because I have spoken it. My word does not return void, and my promises over your life are still alive. I know you've grown weary waiting for change, but renewal rarely comes with noise or speed. It begins quietly, in the hidden places of the heart. Like spring after a long winter, you will not notice the first bloom until it's already growing beneath the frost. So do not despise this slow season. It is sacred. Every unseen moment of faithfulness, every whispered prayer, every tear you've sown, they are watering the soil of your future. You will reap what you have sown in tears, and your joy will overflow. My promise to you is not simply survival, it is restoration. I will renew your strength, your purpose, your song. You will laugh again. You will dream again. You will stand where you once fell and call that ground holy. The pain that once crushed you will become the platform from which you testify of my faithfulness. The weary places of your heart will bloom again, for I make all things new, not just what is around you, but what is within you. So my beloved, lift your head. The dawn is breaking. The night is over. You are stepping into renewal, not because you earned it, but because my love demanded it. I am your Redeemer, your Restorer, your constant hope. What I begin, I finish. What I promise, I perform. And I promise you this: I will make your life a living testimony of my unrelenting grace. The dry places will sing again, and when they do, the whole world will know I was with you all along. Amen.